Hello and welcome to the Awakening Heart community of Mindful Living's Zen to Go noon meditation. I'm so happy to see y'all here. When the weather's nice, I like to take it outside. So that is where we're going to be today, as long as we don't get too interrupted by a wind, starts raining. So we'll see how it goes. But wherever you're tuning in from, I hope it is nice and sunny. And if not, I hope you can get some of the vibes from this side. For those of you who might be new to the practice, we're going to do about a 10 to 15 minute guided meditation that is rooted in mindfulness. And mindfulness is the practice of intentionally focusing your attention. So there's a lot of times during the day when we might not be paying attention to what it is that we're paying attention to. And sometimes it can be enjoyable to sort of daydream like that. But sometimes that can lead to us getting caught up in troubling thoughts about worries of the future or kind of regrets, ruminations about the past. So in today's meditation, we are going to practice refocusing our attention onto the feeling of what is it like to breathe. And if you're new to meditation or new to mindfulness, all you really have to do is listen to the sound of my voice and join along at home. I'm so glad you're here. But before we do, let's get started with our usual check-in. I'm going to scoot y'all a little bit closer. Let's see if I can do that without everything falling over. So if you like, please share your name and something that you're grateful for in the chat box, and I will read it out. As an example, my name is Miles, and I am grateful that it is a really nice day outside. Sometimes that can be few and far between in Texas. It's either cold and rainy or 100 degrees. But today is really, really nice and sunny, and I'm really grateful for that. And if you leave your name and something you're grateful for in the chat box, I will read it after our meditation as well. The nice thing about live stream is that if you want to, you can put in some earbuds or headphones and use this as a walking meditation. But otherwise, I'd invite you to find a comfortable sitting posture, or if you're feeling especially tired, you might go ahead and lie down. Once you've found kind of what's going to be your meditation posture, I'd like for you to join me for our opening affirmation. It's a way to set an intention for our meditation. If you know it, please say it along with me at home. If you don't, you'll know it for tomorrow. May we and all beings be safe and free from illness or injury. May we and all beings transform our suffering. May we and all beings rejoice in all joys. May we and all beings be at peace. And allow that intention to kind of sink in with you. as we begin our meditation. There's a reason why we start the intention with the self. It's very hard to give something that we don't have ourselves. Things like compassion, things like a sense of calm, a sense of peace. So with this practice, the best thing we can do is start with ourselves. Breathing in, becoming aware of the fact that we are breathing in. And breathing out, becoming aware of the fact that we are breathing out. And if the whole machinery of breathing suddenly feels very complicated, we might pick one part of the body to kind of spotlight your attention. Perhaps noticing the way the air feels like a cool breeze as it moves in and out of your nostrils. Perhaps feeling slightly warmer air as it moves across the back of the throat. Perhaps noticing the way the chest rises and falls with each breath cycle. Or attending to the softness of the abdomen as it expands and relaxes. Wherever you choose to focus the attention, know that this is your anchor in the practice. And if you're coming from a busy day, or if you're sitting outside like I am, you may notice your attention being pulled by an external sound, racing thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what the mind does. That's what it is. Here we're just taking a few moments to practice our ability to recognize the thinking without judgment, and to go ahead and steer our attention back to the breath sensation. So when we're focused on the breath, we're not worried about the future. We're not mired in regrets about the past. Can we learn to enjoy the sensation of just sitting, just breathing? Every in-breath is like a big stretch in the morning. Every out-breath, a sigh of relief. I'm next to the dog park, so I'm going to go ahead and mute on my end while a couple folks walk their dogs. Remember, this is part of it. We don't have to be in a perfectly silent, still room to practice. At a certain point, the distractions are the practice. But I'll let them just distract me. Y'all can enjoy the silence for a little bit. Breathing in, and coming back to the in-breath from wherever we might be. Now breathing out like a sigh of relief, letting go of any tension. If you're feeling particularly ungrounded today, you might stick with the breathing. But if you're like me, I'd like to invite you to open up the scope of awareness so that we can find this place of open-hearted, spacious awareness, big enough to include the sounds in our environment, perhaps big enough to include any body sensations. And can we open up our mindfulness practice so that we're going from mindfulness of breath to becoming mindful of the present moment as a whole? Mm. Here we can notice sights, sounds, smells, sensations, and our thoughts without judgment, practicing being the awareness. This is how we integrate our mindfulness practice into daily life. And so perhaps you stay with the breath, and that's just fine too. It's, this is about finding what grounds you. There's no advanced practice and beginner's practice. I'm not a teacher in this tradition. We're just sharing. But perhaps see what it's like to practice becoming aware of the present moment as a whole, almost letting it filter through you without getting stuck on any one thought, without making up stories about any sounds. Notice the sounds, but we don't have to go one step further and label them as, annoying or pleasant. Just letting the present moment filter through us for a few moments in silence. with one last expansive, joyful breath. Go ahead and open your eyes if they're not open already. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Make sure they're awake. And know deeply that we don't do our meditation and then do the rest of our day. We can take this open, present moment awareness and carry it with us into whatever we do. So that perhaps this afternoon we'll be mindfully speaking on a Zoom meeting for work, or mindfully tending to the garden, or mindfully contemplating the empty shelves at the grocery store when you need toilet paper. Thank you for joining me in this short practice today. If I knew that it was a good day to walk your dogs, I would have grabbed Chi Sing's book. I think it's in his 108 Reflections book. I'll mark it for tomorrow, and I'll read it verbatim for y'all tomorrow. But I remember that one of Chi Sing's little passages, by the way, who's the founder of the Dallas Meditation Center and is no longer with us in physical form. But anyway, I remember one of his little passages was called like the Chihuahua is part of the meditation. And he talks about being at a meditation retreat. And I think it was one in the Zen tradition, which is very much silent sitting meditation. There's a little bit more, I don't want to say there's a little bit more discipline to it, because it's a wonderful tradition, and I probably could stand to benefit from dipping my toes in a little more discipline every once in a while. But yeah, he talks about sitting at what I think is a Zen meditation retreat, and it's silent. And in that tradition, they'll often do like silent hour-long meditation, and it's a little bit more formal. And the passage talks about how somebody was walking a Chihuahua outside the retreat so that everybody in the meditation hall could hear. And Chihuahuas are surprisingly loud. And he talks about at first hearing the Chihuahua and thinking, oh my gosh, the Chihuahua is so annoying. I wish it would shut up, blah, blah, blah. But then realizing that this is this false dichotomy that, meditation is our quiet time, and it's where we're separate from our day-to-day lives. It is definitely easier to meditate when we have a quiet space. But I think the challenge in the practice, in the way that we go from mindfulness meditation to mindful living, is by cultivating a sense of equanimity for the distractions from our meditation. That we might be meditating and notice that it's really, really hot and it feels stuffy and we start sweating. That's me. That's my problem. And at first we feel like, it shouldn't be this way. This is annoying. I don't like sweating. Or, I wish the dogs would shut up. They're annoying. I don't like them. But can we then go one step further and recognize there's our thought. The thought is that the dogs are annoying. Can we recognize the thought and then just let it go and acknowledge that the dog's barking? Because then I don't feel so annoyed, and I hope that you all have the same experience. But anyway, The book that I do have today to read with y'all is Love for Imperfect Things by Hamin Sunim. How to Accept Yourself in a World Striving for Perfection. And I like his punchy little, I don't know if they're called poems, his punchy little passages. But here he talks about life being what we like and what we don't like. And that a lot of times we don't get to pick and choose. We get to choose what we pursue, but we don't always get to pick and choose the details. He says, it's a mistake to assume that everything about your dream job will be fun and interesting. All jobs have their tedious aspects. Know that there may be trials to get through before something bears fruit. I thought that professors just taught and did research. After becoming a professor, I realized that the work involves all sorts of things that I didn't particularly care for, like collecting receipts, writing recommendation letters, filling out applications and boring reports for research grants, giving lectures to prospective students and their parents, etc. But this seems to be the case with every kind of work. You get to do what you like if you also do what you don't particularly like. So with the meditation comes the Chihuahua. I would love to hear either y'all's thoughts on the meditation. Today, I invited a little bit different, more open monitoring and awareness rather than the closed mindfulness of breath that I usually lead y'all through. Catherine says she's grateful for our time together today. Me too. The dogs are part of the practice. Yeah, Catherine says I often feel Qixing's presence when I sit and meditate. I think that's how we keep people alive, is by continuing to talk about them and continuing to carry on their mission, their vision in life. And I think that Qixing would be proud to know that we have kept the Dallas Meditation Center alive for years after he's been able to head it up. And in the interest of keeping the Dallas Meditation Center alive, please know that while I am live streaming from my home trailer, the Dallas Meditation Center still has all the same expenses of the physical building, even though we're not meeting in it. And it's put us into a really tough position because there's no donation jar reminder up front, and we're not holding the physical events at the Dallas Meditation Center, even though we are still creating an online space for the community. It's more important now than ever to be coming together in the online sphere, but also to be making financial donations as you're able, to keep the center alive. Because unfortunately, one of the uncertain factors that we have to deal with is I can't say, and nobody can say definitively, when Dallas is going to open up again. And we're certainly not going to push something that would be unsafe, but we really just don't have a good timeline right now. You can donate by going to the Dallas Meditation Center website, which is in the description below. Um, anytime you donate, leave a comment and I'll give you a shout out. Monthly donations are particularly appreciated because that's something that the community can count on, and then you don't have to think about it. And just like the NPR drive, then you can tune it out when they're doing the quarterly drives because you did your part, monthly donors. Thank you. You can also donate by phone by texting the word mindful to 44321 for those of you who might be tuning in from phone. We're living in the future. Any and all donations are appreciated. Um, and to keep you updated on the calendar events we have going on, every weekday at noon, there will be a noon Zen to Go meditation. That's the same format as this little short meditation, little short reading to give you something to think about. Tonight, I'll be doing another short guided meditation at 7 p.m. Afterwards, Bobby's doing Interbeing Sangha from 7:30 to 9 p.m. that you're all invited to tune in for. That one is has a nice discussion aspect to it. Let's see. I'm so excited to hear that they're getting together a beginner's meditation workshop online. If you have any friends who you think might benefit from the practice, or who might be interested but not really know where to start. And the next evening practice we have is Sunday night Awakening Heart Sangha, which is definitely more interactive than what we have going on here today. If you're missing that and if you're missing seeing everyone's face, I hope to see y'all on Sunday night so we can have some more interactive discussion, have a longer practice, and stay connected during this time. I hope you take the energy that we have cultivated together. Hooray! Catherine just donated. I am so happy to hear that. Yeah, and we're Cornell and Bobby are like, don't say this, but we're brainstorming some ways to make some more detailed, more in-depth, more focused courses for y'all to further your practice or to meet the needs of specific populations using mindfulness to better their lives. So stay tuned for that. Really want to be here to support and enrich the community and provide y'all with some more in-depth tools that you can use to develop your practice beyond kind of what the core practice is here today. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for donating, Catherine. I am excited. If I had confetti, I'd throw it up in the air. We'll go ahead and close for today. And we'll close with the closing affirmation. And I'm still an essential worker. So I'm not going to open up the Zoom room after today or after noon meditation, but I hope to see y'all on another short guided meditation live stream at 7 p.m. after which we will be opening up the Zoom room for meditation. And that's like, it's just me. So I hope to see y'all then. I invite you to say your closing affirmation at home with me if you know it. Countless beings we vow to free. Ceaseless afflictions we vow to end. Limitless truth doors we vow to open. The deepest paths of awakening we vow to realize. Amitabha, please carry this energy, this calm compassion with you throughout your day so that you can be the calm that this world needs right now. I hope I see y'all tonight.